and gentlemen, welcome to Rusty Cage! And in this episode, a recap of UFC 260 and a preview of UFC 261.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Rusty Cage. In this episode, we're going to review episode 260 as well as to make our predictions for 261. Mr. Jordan Ducharme, how the hell are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. It's my day off, so it's noon here in the UK, or just 1 o'clock. Got a coffee in front of me, ready to talk the fights. Couldn't be more excited.
Let's go, dude. 260, great card.
What a card. I was so stoked on it.
Yeah, super good night to fight. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know, anytime there's like a heavyweight, it's like sometimes it just doesn't live up to it.
Oh yeah, especially when it's two fat, out of shape guys, and like they were in the top 10, but it's like from 10 to 6. It's no guarantees you're gonna get a good fight.
Yeah, and it lived up to it. Francis Ngannou is just a fucking beast.
Yeah, for me, so I had work on Sunday pretty early. So I slept right when I got home from work on Saturday at like 8 p.m., woke up at 3 a.m., and just caught the 3 main fights live.
Nice.
And then I was able to watch the 2 first ones the next day at work. So I'm up to date, but it was a disjointed viewing for me.
I watched on Saturday night. We had Johnny Paul as the guest. It was good to see him.
Hell yeah.
He's looking straight grizzly these days. He's got a fat beard on him. It's hilarious.
He's always sort of looks like shit. That's coming from me.
I'm gonna splice the random shit talk between you two, like that he did of you.
Did he?
He might. I think he had like one comment or something.
Oh, that motherfucker. Yeah, that's why I'm on guard.
Okay,
but I know we're cut short on time, so let's just get right into this motherfucker.
Let's bang it out. So, your boy O'Malley versus Almeida.
Oh, do we not want to do the first 2?
Yeah, that's. I don't think I had. I don't know if we had picks for those ones or not, but yeah, we can do those. Why not?
I don't think so. I didn't know. Well, the card we should say got fucked around a lot. Obviously,
Tons.
Ortega Volkanovski didn't happen, and shit was getting shuffled like right up till fight week. So. I always knew Worthy. That's a name I sort of keep track of, and I was expecting him to fucking wash James Malarkey just based on me not knowing him.
Oh, Malarkey, that's right.
The opposite happened. James Malarkey like fucking planted round 1, so that was pretty cool.
I definitely picked Malarkey just because of his name.
It's a great last name, dude. It sounds like if you were making fun of, like, is he British or Irish? If you were trying to like mock them, that's the name you come up with.
Yeah, it is fucking Malarkey.
And then we had Miranda Maverick versus Jillian Robertson. This was a fight I barely paid attention to. It was just boring long.
Yeah. Excuse me, COVID. Yeah, that Maverick girl looks pretty good though.
Yeah, she looked like a prospect for sure. Everyone was pretty impressed. I don't know. There was something about I was watching it after the 3 main fights. It was pretty tough to get into.
Yeah,
but,
indeed. Agreed.
Anyway, sorry. Before I cut you off, O'Malley.
Yeah.
Almeida.
Man, god damn, did your boy look good? And it wasn't that I didn't want him to look good. I had picked Almeida, and that's just because we had a bit of difference on here. But god damn, man, he's so good. His striking is, and it's not like Almeida is not a striker. It's like that's it. We knew this was going to be a kickboxing match. And just to let him, did you hear what he said about his shirts? Like why?
No.
So
did O'Malley or Almeida said this?
O'Malley. So O'Malley made these shirts that said something about his right hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he first knocked it in the first round when he like knocked him out and tried to walk away. He realized that he hit him with his left hand, and he's like, "Fuck, I gotta sell these shirts." He's like, let him get back up so I can hit him with the right hand.
That's hilarious. Man, and that right hand that he finished him with was so disgusting. I couldn't believe it. And you know what happened was like, so in the first round, O'Malley shinned Almeida right to the face. It was fucking brutal.
Perfect. Yeah.
And he went to do like a walk-away knockout. He thought that was it. And the ref was like, no, like get back in there. And commentary sort of busted his balls and everything.
They really got on his ass about it. They're like, "Oh, he's young. He doesn't know what he's doing." Blah 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 blah. He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah, and round one was like a clear 10-8 in my eyes, and then
big
not
time."
not much happened in round two. Nothing, no real thing to note. And then in round three, fucking O'Malley blasts him again, and once again goes to do the walk away knockout thing. And I think like if this was the first time he did it, maybe the ref would have been like taking a better look and being like, okay, yeah, it is a knockout. But I think because of the first one and because Almeida rolled sort of instinctively, the ref was like, fucking keep fighting, like enough of this bullshit. And
Yeah,
so
that's why he hit
O'Malley
him with
just
that huge sucker. 'Cause everyone kind of gave him shit for that. Like, "Oh, that extra punch wasn't necessary." I'm like, "Well, the ref didn't
tried
stop
to
it.
enough.
Yeah, the ref didn't stop it last time, so he's like, fuck it. All right."
He didn't want to though. He tried to walk away again, and the ref didn't. So it was
Yeah.
like, and he hendoed him like it was so brutal from the heavens, like to the ground.
And
Yeah, it was sick. I'm glad. I heard a lot of people since that happened are sort of underplaying Almeida. I thought Almeida was a huge threat. I didn't like.
he's a
I
big
wasn't
threat.
as
He was like
I wasn't
24
as confident
and
O'Malley
4.
in this one at all.
No, he has so much more experience than Sugar in by like 10 more fights or some shit like that. His record was like 24 and 4. His record's super good and a hell of a kickboxer. So yeah, I think everyone was kind of. I don't know. People know who Almeida was because like yeah, this guy's kind of a vet. Like
Yeah, he was getting slept on a lot. Although that being said, now he's lost 5 out of his last 6, so it's sort of his like.
that'll be it. He'll be joining
the
Junior
writing's
Dos
on the wall.
Santos. He'll be joining Junior
Yeah.
Dos Santos and Alistair Overeem.
Hey, speaking of that'll be it. Moving on to this next fight.
Indeed. T Woods.
Oh man, what can we say? We did sort of see it coming.
We really did. He looked awful the entire week. Like any video I saw of him, his eyes just looked like he did not want to be there.
You think? I didn't watch any of the lead up to it, so
Yeah,
I
all the
can't
lead
speak
up I
on that.
saw, I've never seen him just look so sunk in and like he's, he's usually like glistening. That guy's usually like he's all
Yeah,
oiled up and shit. And he just didn't have it. And man, did he get the fucking brakes beat off of him?
Yeah, one fight of the night apparently, so at least he gets 50 grand on the way out the door.
On the way out the door. Yeah, because
But it
White's
was-
like, you're done.
It really does show a state of a guy's career where it was sort of a win in the sense that like if he just got clenched out or like if he didn't show anything, which he did, he sort of like was trying to be the Tyron Woodley of old and blast him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like losing due to inactivity like his last 3 fights.
Yeah, his
That
last
is
3,
sort
yeah.
of a silver lining for him, I guess.
I mean, the guy's 38 years old. He's got. Is he still doing any commentary?
39, I believe.
Oh Jesus! I mean, yeah, that's.
Yeah, and he works for the UFC and has those jobs.
Okay, so I don't know. I know he was with Fox before, but because they don't have the whole Fox deal now, I was like, oh, does he still have a? I'm sure I'll find.
Oh
something.
right.
Yeah, so I don't
I
know
could
if
be
he's.
wrong, yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if he.
But dude, I will say when he was fully rocked up against the cage and he bounces off the cage and throws that right that connects on Luque, those are like the moments we watch MMA for, dude. Like
It's crazy.
came
right?
out of my chair when that happened.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. I
I
also
was
like
like-
how Luque could have beat the brakes off of him too, and I kind of like how he just put him in a darce. Was like, all right, I don't need to like totally smash
Yeah.
this dude's face in.
Yeah, it was
That
the
was
most
nice.
effective way to do it. It's so brutal too, because Woodley knew he was done, just tapped out. I do think because this is the last fight on his contract, unless he's willing to take a huge pay cut, I doubt we see him back in the UFC. But who knows?
No, I can't. Every time this happens, it's a bit of a bummer because anytime I feel like Dana White gets more leverage over a fighter,
Yeah, you
I
hate
just
to
get-
see it.
you hate to see it. You hate to see it. I just get bummed out because I'm like, fuck, does this guy really need any more chips on his side of the table as far as negotiations are concerned?
But there's also the fact that, like, man, these fights don't have no toll, and like we said, the guy's almost 40. He's getting fucking
Got a big
brutalized.
family, like I don't know, man. It's crazy to me that at 39 years old you'd want to wake up and be like, I think I'll go cage fight today.
Yeah, maybe
Fuck that.
number 5 will be my one. It's like Christ, man. I don't know. But the next fight, way more inspiring shit. I thought this
Ooh.
was big.
So
And this is the one I don't remember who we predicted on this one. Do you have our predictions from last month?
for the main event.
Yeah, because I was back and forth on this the entire time. I wouldn't have been surprised if I picked Stipe. I don't remember.
Well, you sir are in luck because I could just fucking lie to you right now. I could just be like, oh yeah, I picked all the good picks, but you went with Zingano. I was pretty confident about Stipe on this one, to be honest. I was like, yeah, he's lighter. His footwork will just whatever, and I was wrong.
Dude, Stipe got fucking folded. He got the accordion leg. Like,
oh, that picture of just the back leg, just
it's so brutal. Whenever that happens, dude, it's the worst thing ever.
Ugh. Especially
well, not the worst ever, but you know,
when it's someone of that stature too, right? It's like, you know, what's crazy is like he looked so much smaller because he only came in at like 240 or some shit like that. Like he wasn't. Yeah. He was the same weight when he was fighting DC, which was a lot lighter for him. And it's like,
and he has that. He has that like normal body thing too. Like he looks like he could be your neighbor, sort of.
Totally,
so, like
uncle's friend.
In there with Ngannou, who looks like he could be a Mortal Kombat character. It's such a weird, like, difference.
It's insane to see those two men side by side, and you're like, wow, Stipe's a small guy, and he's like, yeah, go ahead, go up and fucking stand next to him and see how small he is.
Yeah, he's the type of guy where if he walked into the bar you were working at, you'd be like, holy shit, like look at how big this guy is. And Ngannou like dwarfs that guy. Like
if Ngannou, you close the bar down.
Yeah, oh man. But that's what I love. Ngannou is there's something so nice about how soft spoken he is. Like his personality is really just like he seems kind and humble.
I just want to do my best. I just want to do my best in the UFC and have a good time with everyone.
Yeah, he's sick, dude.
Yeah.
I was so glad to see him beat Stipe because I don't hate Stipe. I know he's got a lot of haters. But I'm also not the biggest fan. Like I think Ngannou's just way more exciting in general.
I'll agree with you on that one. I do quite like Stipe. I'm like, yeah, he's a good guy, all this stuff. Maybe not the most exciting dude to have as a heavyweight champion. Like, you know, throughout history, we've always had these like fucking nut bars.
Yeah, and like I don't know, yeah, it reminds me almost like of Couture and Lesnar back in the day, where it's like it's obviously Lesnar's way more pro wrestling, but Ngannou feels like the pro wrestling sort of answer. It's like Vince McMahon would fucking give his left nut to have this guy on his roster because he's just such a natural star. Even if he's not the best speaker, it's like this guy's got something so special. To see him win the title like that and like his hometown. Have you seen the video of his hometown? Like watching it
with tears.
Dude, it's special. It's like special shit. I love when UFC can stumble onto guys like this. So I was really happy to see him win.
Yeah, it's unreal, and he is a super cool. He's a cool cat, and then the fact that there's like we've got like 3 kind of African champions right now.
Yeah. And you know what, dude? Like I heard Usman on Rogan years ago, maybe 2 years ago at this point. And he was saying, like, man, they don't know what's coming. Like, the African fighters are coming, and we're gonna take over, and like, it's a matter of time, and all this.
And here it is.
Yeah, we're seeing that. Like, man, between all these guys, it's so nice. And not only that, they're so dominant.
Yeah, and they're all so good. I mean, Marty's so good. And then Adesanya, I mean, how great would it be if they could make a card in Africa? I don't think they've done that yet, right? Like if they had a fucking Rumble in the Jungle, but UFC style with like 3 title fights, all 3 African champions, that'd be the fucking sickest, dude.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, man.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It's weird. I know so little about Africa so far as like, whenever you hear about any country, sometimes just based on what you've heard growing up, you couldn't imagine a like modern scene where people are in bars and shit, but I'm sure it exists. Like there are UFC fans there.
Yeah, depending on whereabouts you are, I'm sure, big time.
Yes, that would be awesome. All overall, a fucking awesome night of fights.
Unreal card, super great, and some good little like switch ups. I think it's gonna be, and I mean, ultimately, we're gonna get to see Francis Ngannou versus John Jones.
Do you think that's happening? Because that's 100%. Are you following the shit that's going on like currently with Jones?
Is he what did he do now?
Well, now he's tweeting about walking away from the company altogether.
Oh, because he's like, get the money right. or whatever like that. Which
Yeah.
is like, Dana comes out immediately. He's like, anytime someone says the money, show me the money, it means that they don't want to fight.
Yeah,
But
I hate it. 'Cause-
Dana knows what he's doing by just pissing a guy off, and he's just trying to make a guy angry enough where he's like, fuck it, and he just fights.
well, it's annoying because like there is some truth to it. If John Jones was coming in and saying like, I want $60 million or you're not getting me in there or whatever. Like there is a point, there is a number he can say where it is like, well, you know they're not going to say that.
Yeah.
You know they're not going to meet that. But on the other side of the coin, no matter what his number is, Dana White's going to say what he's going to say.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't take Dana White for his word because he could be asking a totally reasonable number, but Dana White's just no matter what going to be like, well, you would do it for free if you really care. Like,
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah. So fucking crazy. And like, I don't know, man. And Dana said it during the press conference too. I was like, if I'm John Jones right now, I don't want that fight. After seeing that.
Well, yeah, and that's what I thought, man. Like,
Fuck.
I've historically sort of like not being on the John Jones hype train as many because I wasn't watching in his true prime. I was sort of watching his like more recent comebacks with DC, and that was always mired in controversy. But and I'm not trying to knock him, but like when we see that Francis, like who was beating that Francis Ngannou like that we saw on Saturday?
I don't know, man. Like Superman, maybe. Like we're gonna start
Yeah.
fucking bringing some Marvel Universe characters in DC.
Yeah, dude.
It's like Jesus Christ.
Like John Jones was having trouble getting past Dominic Reyes. I thought he lost that fight. You're
I
telling
do
me
too.
he's gonna show up and dominate Ngannou? And one moment of that Ngannou fight we didn't talk about is Stipe forgot the takedown for a second, or tried to.
His
And
sprawl was
Francis-
amazing. He just
Dude, it
pushed
was
him right
awesome.
down. Yeah, it was so good. He's definitely made.
It was-
It's good to see him make improvements because a guy like that could probably rely on his attributes for quite some time,
Mhm.
right? And
Well,
like,
and the
yeah,
thing
he,
is,
he might
we-
get knocked out sometimes, or he might get strangled. But like overall, this guy's still probably gonna knock the fuck out of people.
Yeah. But
So-
that's the thing is like we didn't get to see if their improvement was there because his last 4 fights were so short. It's like a combined time of 2 minutes. So I'm
That's
almost
amazing.
glad we got to see that wrestling displayed just so we know it can happen. It was
Just so we know
interesting.
he's slightly more terrifying.
Yeah.
Well,
Should we look ahead? I know
let's
you only
do
got a
it.
few more minutes here, but
let's do it. Let's take a peek at UFC 261.
wait, before we do that, I got just the headline fights of the next 2 fight nights, which both of them are pretty awesome actually.
Yeah.
On April 10th, we got Darren Till, the Gorilla, versus Marvin Vittori.
Ooh.
I forget his nickname, the Italian Dream or something like that.
Okay, I'll take Till.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just to counteract you, I will take Vittori.
Okay.
It's so tough to bet on Till. He's just such a favorite, but it's like
He's got to be a frustrating
when's the
guy.
when's the last time he convincingly won a fight?
Outside of that hotel.
Yeah, when he's fighting with cops on his Instagram live.
Yeah,
He fares pretty well.
He definitely won those, dude.
Dude, that was awesome. But I mean, even the fights he does win, dude, they're tight decisions. Like,
It's true.
I mean, that Gastelum one could have gone either way. That Wonder Boy one could have gone either way.
Okay,
So
what's
I don't
the-
know. I think he needs like a big win.
I agree. Yeah, this is a bit of a make or break for him, eh? A little bit.
At least in that main event scene, like the champ is calling him out. The champ, Adesanya said, like, Phil, get a few wins. Like, I want to fight you. It's right there, you know.
Fuck yeah. All right. Well, I'm rooting for him. Let's hope it happens.
Yeah. So the next week, April 17th, Robert Whitaker versus Kelvin Gastelum, the fight we were supposed to see
Oh no, they
a couple
haven't
years
fought.
ago.
That's right. They didn't fight that time. Oh man.
Yeah, Whitaker had like some hernia like the day of or almost or the
That's
day before,
right.
and then
And this was kind of like
Gastel.
this was for a title, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's when Gastelum showed up wearing Henry Cejudo's title belt, calling himself the real champ or whatever. It was the cringiest shit ever, dude.
Ugh.
Gastelum lost a lot of fans on that day.
Do you know how bad it is when it's like you're making fun of Henry Cejudo and you still lose fans?
Yeah, dude. So I've got Whitaker in this one. I think Gastelum. I don't know if he lost something in that Adesanya war, but he just hasn't been the same sort of caliber of fighter since. I don't feel
I feel like he's getting up there too, though, isn't he?
I don't know. I don't know how old he is.
He's one of those dudes who's like, I don't know if he's that old or if he's just been fighting for that long where he is that old. Like, he could just be fucking 26, but his body might be 48.
Yeah, and on top of that, he always looks undersized for this division. So
he does. He's small for that division, big time.
yeah, and when you couple that with the tear Whitaker's been on and just like the focus he's got, like everyone was calling for him for a world title after that last win, but he's like, no, give me one more. So I don't know. I just like Whitaker's headspace right now.
I'll take Gassy in that. Okay,
Cool.
and then what's the main card?
All right, 261, the main card. I got it here in front of me. First up, we got Chris Weidman, Uriah Hall. I like this fight a lot.
Ooh, I really like this fight. Damn.
Do you like the fight if you don't like Chris Weidman?
I actually like Chris Weidman, and the only reason I like Chris Weidman is because anytime I get to see Sarah and Luongo or whatever, like,
oh yeah,
those two dudes are just so Jersey. It's so painful, but it's hilarious just to hear them talk. Hey,
yeah, Matt Sarah he is my favorite corner man ever, I gotta say.
Yeah.
But I don't know, with just the trajectory both these guys are on right now. Uriah Hall. I mean, Anderson Silva wasn't this huge win considering he's like 45 or whatever, but I still think he's got a lot more promise. He's got a lot more unreached potential, whereas Weidman feels like he's just on the downturn to me.
All right, I'll take Whitey on this. I'll take the old fucking buck.
I love it. Oh, Weidman. Okay. Next up, Anthony Smith versus Jimmy Crute. I don't know. Jimmy Crute's one of those perfect example of a name I've heard dozens of times, and I can't put a face to it at all. Like I couldn't tell you one thing about the guy.
It sounds like Jimmy Cruz is like a shitty video game.
No, Jimmy Crute.
Oh, Crute, even better.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm picking Anthony Smith just based on I think Anthony had a few bad beats, but I think he is sort of a higher tier of fighter.
A couple bad beats. Sir, he got his teeth knocked out of him and then went to his corner and was like, "Oh, my teeth are falling out." His corner went, "Cool story. Get back in there."
Hey, sometimes you lose some teeth.
Dude.
I don't know.
The fact
Maybe
that his nickname is Lionheart is just like, Jesus fucking Christ. This poor bastard.
Yeah, and I love he's like, if they ever threw in the towel, I would fire them. It's like, all right, dude, you're not gonna live long. And then we get into, dude, we got 3 title fights on this card. It feels fucking sneaky. Like I hope they all hold up.
Yeah, it was a very sneaky one. Yeah, I'm always a little bit nervous too with anytime we get these big title cards because they usually don't live up. but this is gonna be good.
So we got Weili Zhang. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Versus Rose Namajunas. This is an awesome fight. I'm going with the champ right out the gate, though. As much as I do love Thug Rose.
Sick. I'm definitely taking Thug.
Oh, really? Perfect.
I love it. I hope that Thug wins, and I hope that she just gets that big Pat Barry dick right after the fight.
Well, hey, hopefully. Then we got Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. You go ahead. Who are you picking there? I feel like I know.
I don't know how you can pick against Shevchenko on anything.
Yeah. Unless it's I would pick against her in a Nunez fight, and that's about it.
That's about it. Shevchenko. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to be... I think we're both probably going to take Shevchenko on that one. We're allowed to pick one each. It's all good.
Yeah. And then the main event, I feel like we might have the same pick here, too, unless you're a big Masvidal guy. But Kamaru Usman, George Masvidal, second fight. First of all, how did you feel about this fight getting made so fast?
Out of nowhere. I didn't see that coming at all. I thought they were going to... I don't know. I thought they were going to get Covington somewhere in the mix or... Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't see it. I also just wasn't hearing a whole bunch about... I just chalked Masvidal up. It's like, oh, he's just going to do these, like, whatever fights, and that's what he'll do.
I'm trying to think of a time when... Because he hasn't had a fight since the last Kamaru Usman fight, has he?
I don't think so, no.
So I don't know if that's ever happened in UFC where a guy goes from losing a title fight to his next fight.
Sits out a bunch.
Yeah, his next fight being the title fight, especially when, like you said, Covington would be a great fight with Masvidal.
Yeah.
Edwards would be a when was that fight ever gonna happen after the fucking altercation?
Right.
Or even Burns. Like he's fought none of these guys. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting the title shot again, essentially just because he's a big star. Is like the reason.
I think so. I think they had to do something with Usman's fantastic, but he just doesn't have that. I don't know. He just doesn't have that Zingano quality or that Adesanya quality of just like, I don't know. He's just like kind of a plain Jane-ish dude. Like maybe this needs something to pair him up with because it's as amazing as he is. That's probably the champ I hear least about.
Usman, you think?
Yeah, like I don't hear a whole ton about him. Like just from the
Yeah.
common fan or whatever like that. Like no one really knows who he is,
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
I know what you mean, and I think
Like people
if
will
he
know
beats-
Masvidal way more than they would know Usman, and he's the fucking champion.
for sure, and I think that's why Usman wants to fight him again because he's, for one, Masvidal does always have that excuse of I took it on 2 weeks or whatever, so
Mhm.
that'll no longer be there.
Yeah.
Usman knows you're the biggest money fight for him, and he's getting part of the pay-per-view points as the champ, so that's there. And on top of that, it's like you do sort of take a guy's star power a bit when you fucking clock him out on live like pay-per-view.
Indeedy.
So
I'll take
picking.
you take Usman. I'll take Masvidal. I'll take Masvidal on this. I'll take the Street Jesus, my Cubano.
It's funny because I think I picked Masvidal in the last fight.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know why. I sort of was underrating Usman after that Burns fight that Usman had. I really sort of hold Usman on in much higher regard than I did before. I thought that was such an impressive performance.
So good. Okay, my friend.
Right,
Well,
well-
those are the picks. There are
Those are the
locked
picks.
in. I will be watching those fights. That's on the 24th, right? The April 24th? 261, I
I
believe.
forget.
So. Pretty sure it's April 24th. I'll be watching that with. I think Garrett's gonna come on by. We're gonna watch them fights. Yeah, man. Thank you so much for doing this. I always appreciate it. I always like seeing your lovely face, even if it's at 4:30 in the morning.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, thanks for having me on again. Can't wait to do the one next month.
I'm
Got some
stoked.
big
Hey, I'm
fights
gonna ask
for
you
me.
this real quick. I know you're not a boxing fan, but Askren
Yeah.
versus Paul. Who do you got?
Oh, I got Ben Askren all day, baby.
Yeah. Okay, I hope so too. All right. Well, I'll definitely be doing a live stream for that one as well. This episode was brought to you by First Strike Athletics. Go check out that YouTube channel, First Strike Athletics on YouTube. Some great Muay Thai tips and all sorts of awesome things. Big shout out to Dan Slobodan for sponsoring the show. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this was Rusty Cage. Jordan Ducharme, thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thanks, bud. See you next time.
Cheers.